Okay, morning guys. We are going to be working on probably the hardest part of the build today, which is going to be to build thighs and a butt. Okay, a lot of fun. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take newspaper, hold the newspaper up from just below the waist, or actually the hip to the knee is the measurement you want. Or a little bit over the hip to the knee. Okay? This one isn't going to rip very easily. Actually, I already have some that are kind of, they're okay for that. Okay, so about like this. And I have a long piece. I doubled it over, because what we're going to do is make a cone shape. Okay, as best you can, make a cone shape. So here, you just make it kind of a tight spiral on the bottom and keep it loose at the top, depending on how big you want your thighs to be. Okay, obviously if you want them to be really big thighs, keep a big circle like this. I'll try doing big ones. Okay, once you have that, you're just going to tape it. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So this one's a little bit tricky, so you're going to have to kind of bumble around with it a little bit. So what's going to happen is you'll take this, the big side on the back, slide it up so it's resting about like that. Okay, you do it on both sides. So I do suggest keeping this off of the body first so that you can make one that's about the same size. So I believe mine was a little bit, I'm just going to cut it down just a little bit. And then, I think I have too much paper here. There we go. I mean, there are trickier ways to do this where you like cut out a specific shape and then make it into a cone. I think this is a little bit easier. And remember, if you have a bunch of like excess paper here too, once it's on the body, you can always trim it. So I'm going to look at these two. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to eye it, as nothing is exact. But now I need to get some tape. All right. Okay. Just gonna take some of this off and bring this down. They're close. Okay, so from here, just slide this up. Let's see, here's the knees. Oh yeah, that's way too. So here's the trick. I'm going to take a piece of tape. Bring that back, and I'm just going to tape it to the front of the body like that. Same thing with the other side. Again, I'm just going to tape it to the front. Of course, you have to kind of, again, play around with it so that, you know, it's paper. sometimes it doesn't really want to cooperate. You've got to kind of make it cooperate sometimes. Okay, so that's on the back. Okay, and you can take tape and let's see. Actually, I'm going to move mine down a little bit. There you go. About right there. So you're kind of on the knee notch. And then I'm going to just tape this gently. Actually, no. I'm not going to do that yet. Just kidding. Alright. So basically what you have here is like 2 ice cream cones, and you're going to fill the ice cream cones with paper balls. I'm going to trim mine a little bit. So if you can see on the inside, I don't know how well you can see that, but the front is touching, it's kind of like just creating this big gap back here. And then from there, you're going to start filling it with little balls of paper until the balls of paper kind of overflow, and then you have a big, big butt. And of course, you don't have to make a big butt. I just find big butts to be, you know, it'll be fun. They're funny. Or you could be like Sevi here and, you know, create something like that. You can do a Barbie doll look as well. Or you can do, you know, you can make a man with a big butt. That'll be fun. Okay, so can you guys see what I'm doing? Is it showing? Okay. So as you put the newspaper in there, you want to kind of pack it down. Kind of I feel like my little my thigh back here is a little bit big. I'm going to see if I can just tape it. Anytime you have something that looks a little bit off, I mean, you're always going to have the opportunity to cover it up. My figure here is going to have a disproportionately large butt. I can tell. So I probably should have made these a little bit smaller. So basically, oh shoot. I love it when things mess up during a demo. Isn't that great? You can see me mess up. I'm good at messing up. Let me bring this down a little bit. Let's see here. You ever have one of those days where like nothing really works? Yeah, this is one of those days. I tend to kind of rotate. One day I'll have a really great day where everything is just like spot on perfect, and then the next day, not so much. Huh? Yeah, kind of works that way, doesn't it? I think especially with work and school, you know, it just tends to. So at this point, it's starting to overflow. So I'm trying to make it look, I think you can kind of see a little bit, a butt is forming. We have the formation of the booty. Hold on. I'm going to start packing the tape in there. So watch this. So I'm going to pack that in. I'll probably build up the back a little bit more too, because it's, you know, talk about like having a bubble butt. Look at this. You can Alright, that's looking better. See, if you get enough newspaper and you compact it and then tape, the trick is being able to hold it kind of tight, pushing down, and then taping at the same time. So it's a little awkward for sure, but you'll get it. So if you can imagine, okay, so if I cover this whole thing in tape, she'll start to kind of come to life. You're kind of creating a skin out of tape. So here we have Big Booty. She's fertile. Okay, there's the front. We need to make boobs. Oh, if you're wanting to make breasts, I should call them breasts, not boobs. But you have to think about you basically just make a ball and then put the tape over it. And that works. I am going to start building a little bit of the shoulder and stuff and the arms. So you do that just by doing little balls of paper, and you can use aluminum foil as well. But you just start building up gradually as you go, just with the paper and the balls of paper. So you can see how that's starting to put a little bit of the meat on the arm. And just keep doing that. Oh, one thing that you all do need to do as well, ball up a piece of paper, little tiny, maybe a little bit smaller than that, small enough to fit into the little loopy here for the head. Okay, and then you can also, you don't want to make the head too big. You just kind of start adding on there. All right. Oh, by the way, if you guys are going to do, let's say if I want her to look like she's kind of, like whatever position you want to put them in, like if they're going to be dancers or something, put them in that position first before you start packing on all of this stuff. Okay, because it might screw it up at that point. All right. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back again later for another installment of Trewin's art class. Yay!